When a YouTuber retires, the internet decides whether they leave as a legend or a cautionary tale. Few prove that better than MatPat. At the absolute height of his career, with multiple thriving theory channels and a legacy most creators only dream about, he looked straight into the camera in early 2024 and said he was stepping back. For his wife, for sleep, for life beyond late-night scripts and upload deadlines. No gimmicks, no drama, no one last twist. Just a clean goodbye and a sincere thank you. The comments read like a standing ovation. It was the rare retirement that made the platform feel grown up, reminding everyone that you can quit while you're loved and leave the stage to thunderous applause. Now swing hard in the other direction. Colleen Ballinger built a massive audience with an exaggerated character and family-friendly veneer, then saw it all collapse under allegations of inappropriate parasocial boundaries with fans and a now infamous musical apology that felt more deflection than reflection. The song became a meme for all the wrong reasons, and any attempt to quietly carry on only highlighted how much trust had evaporated. Where MatPat exited with gratitude, Colleen kept performing through the fire alarm and the crowd stopped clapping. What made her downfall sting even more was the contrast between the audience she cultivated and the allegations leveled against her. She wasn't a shock value creator like Belle Delphine or a prankster like Gideon. Her brand revolved around kids, families, and light-hearted comedy. That meant the bar for trust was higher, and when receipts surfaced of inappropriate interactions with underage fans, the betrayal cut deeper. The ukulele apology might have been intended as tongue-in-cheek, but to many it came across as mocking the very people she hurt. Once beloved as a quirky, safe presence, she suddenly looked like someone hiding behind irony to avoid accountability. And unlike creators who rebound after a controversy by addressing it head-on, Colleen's strategy of doubling down only amplified the backlash. In the end, her retirement wasn't a choice. It was an eviction. If those two are the bookends of retirement reputation, Belle Delphine is the reminder that shock value has a timer. She engineered viral moments like few others. Headlines, sold-out stunts, a perfectly tuned controversy engine. The internet couldn't look away, until it could. The more she pushed boundaries, the more the joke curdled, culminating in content so tone-deaf it triggered mass demonetizations and a fade to black. The same audience that once called her a marketing genius now treats the whole era like a relic of internet adolescence. Belle's trajectory highlights one of YouTube's oldest patterns. Controversy gets you seen, but it rarely sustains you. Her bathwater stunt proved how effectively a wild idea can dominate the cultural conversation, but after the initial novelty wore off, each escalation felt emptier than the last. When she finally crossed the line into disturbing roleplay videos, even her most loyal defenders found it hard to spin as genius. What once felt ironic started to feel exploitative. And unlike creators who pivot into new lanes or reinvent themselves, Belle never built a foundation beyond spectacle. Without shock, there was no story left to tell. That's why her disappearance wasn't dramatic. It was anticlimactic. For a creator who thrived on noise, silence turned out to be the most telling ending of all. And then there's Luke Nichols of Outdoor Boys, who walked away for the opposite reason. Too much love, too fast. Years of slow, wholesome growth, camping with his sons, fishing, building, teaching, suddenly exploded into a tidal wave of fame. With it came crowds, constant recognition, and the feeling that normal family life was slipping away. So he did what almost no one does at 15 million subs. He pressed pause to protect his kids, his marriage, and their everyday peace. His farewell wasn't a spectacle, it was a father setting boundaries. You don't often see a creator retire and make the audience admire them more. Luke did. Ryan Higa is another lesson in leaving gracefully. One of the earliest titans of the site, he turned a dorm room sense of humor into a global brand and never needed a scandal to stay relevant. He just stopped having fun. Instead of forcing a new pivot, he stepped back, let the uploads slow to a respectful halt, and kept living his life elsewhere online. The comments under his final stretch are a time capsule of YouTube at its best. Thank yous, inside jokes, and fans who grew up and felt seen. It's hard to stage manage that kind of goodbye. He didn't have to. PewDiePie's semi-retirement shows the third path: stumble, own it, and outwork your own mistakes.
I'm disappointed in myself because it seems like I've learned nothing from all these past controversies.
At his peak, he weathered controversies that would have ended most channels. He apologized without theatrics, tightened up, moved to vlogs and niche interests, then eased into family life. Fewer uploads, less pressure, a gentler cadence. And somehow the relationship with viewers got stronger. It's not that the platform forgot, it's that he gave it better memories to store next to the bad ones and then chose a quieter chapter on purpose. Not every OG got to choose. Skydoes Minecraft burned out, pivoted, and then vanished under a cloud of serious allegations that shattered the hero image so many childhoods were built on. The silence, the late apology, the sense that the person fans imagined never really existed. Some legacies fall not with a final upload, but with a thread of receipts that never stops unraveling. What made Adam Dahlberg's collapse so devastating wasn't just the accusations themselves, it was the sheer contrast between his brand and the reality behind it. To millions of kids, Sky was goofy, welcoming, and safe. A creator who helped them escape into Minecraft worlds where friendship always won. But as stories of manipulation, abuse, and betrayal piled up, that image turned into something darker. Proof that parasocial trust can be built on a mirage. Unlike creators who bowed out gracefully, Adam's disappearance felt like running from a storm of his own making. The late apology landed hollow, more like damage control than genuine growth, and fans who once defended him now felt complicit in propping up a facade. In the end, his story became a warning. Sometimes it's not just the channel that disappears, it's the childhood memories tied to it. Stampy Longnose, meanwhile, wrote the template for a dignified finale. He didn't address adult drama head-on to a child audience. He carefully removed problematic collaborators and kept the world safe for the kids who watched. After more than 800 episodes, he ended his series with a goodbye that doubled as a rite of passage. His audience leaving Lovely World the way they'll leave childhood, grateful, a little sad, and ready for whatever's next. You could feel the curtain fall and the house lights rise. That's how you exit a stage you loved. What made Stampy's farewell so special wasn't just the longevity of the series, but the respect he showed for his viewers every step of the way. He never tried to stretch the brand past its natural life, never cashed in with edgy pivots or forced rebrands. Instead, he recognized when the story had reached its natural conclusion and let it end gracefully. In an era when so many creators implode or cling to relevance long after the magic is gone, Stampy modeled something rare, an exit filled with gratitude, integrity, and closure. For the kids who grew up with him, his goodbye wasn't a scandal or a spectacle. It was a memory of being valued, even at the end. Connor Murphy is the caution no one wanted. He rose fast on IRL prank fitness content, then spiraled publicly. Erratic posts concerning live streams, friends stepping in with explanations, fans watching a health crisis play out in real time. His farewell didn't feel like victory or resolution, it felt like an evacuation. The channel still exists, the views still count, but it reads like a diary you hope the author outgrows somewhere off camera. What made it harder to watch was how gradual the shift was. At first, Connor's fitness pranks and shirtless stunts came off as goofy confidence, light-hearted, almost harmless entertainment. But as the years went by, every upload looked less like a bit and more like a cry for help. Titles became cryptic, videos veered into bizarre spiritual experiments, and his body transformation videos turned into conversations about breakdowns instead of workouts. For fans, the comment sections flipped from hype to concern almost overnight. His final goodbye wasn't polished content. It was raw, unsettling, and hard to interpret as anything other than someone closing a chapter they didn't know how to finish. In a space built on chasing attention, Connor's story became a reminder of what happens when the camera keeps rolling long after it should have been turned off. Illuminati's story is a different kind of implosion. The critic who became the headline. For years, she dissected scams and shady tactics with polished investigative videos, until plagiarism accusations and messy feuds flipped the framing back on her. When your brand is exposing bad actors, your audience holds you to prosecutorial standards. The minute the receipts pointed your way, the trust inverted. A retirement born from dwindling views isn't the same as a curtain call. It's an empty theater you can't fill anymore. And then there are the retirees who never called it retirement, just stopped sprinting. Corey Kenshin's breaks are legend. Every return feels like a reunion. He's proof that if you build community over virality, you can pause without disappearing. He may not be retired in the strict sense, but his cadence teaches the same lesson as the best exits. The work serves the person, not the other way around. All of this plays out against the same stage, a platform that rewards constant motion and punishes missteps forever. It's why MatPat's simple farewell felt radical, why Luke's boundary setting reads heroic, and why Colleen's sing-song deflection turned a stumble into a crater. It's why PewDiePie's softer schedule looked like growth instead of retreat, and why Sky's silence sounded like an answer all by itself. Retirement on YouTube isn't just stepping away from uploads, it's how your last act reframes the entire story. For every creator who leaves us wanting one more episode, there's another who made the internet wish they'd left one season sooner. Belle Delphine taught us that shock has a shelf life. Stampy proved that gentleness doesn't. Ryan showed how to bow out without burning out. Connor showed what happens when the show never stops, even when it should. Illuminati learned that you can't police a space without living up to the laws you lay down. And through it all, MatPat reminded everyone that the words, "As always, my friends," can mean, "This is goodbye," if you've earned the right to say it. In the end, retirement is just a final upload with different stakes. The views don't matter, the trust does. Leave too late and the credits roll over booze. Leave too soon, and the legend grows in the silence. Leave well, and people keep talking about you like you're still here. On this side, that might be the only real Hall of Fame there is.